Hi, welcome to another video of the Target Individual Experience, the Target Individual Program. I'm going to continue on from yesterday um, because this morning they went all out, and you guys are going to see in the video. Okay, I'm smiling because I am so happy that I was able to get this. Okay, so you guys can see without a shadow of a doubt, right, that certain members of the NYPD are engaging in this program. Okay, and it is a daily harassment, psychological torture campaign that they have engaged on me. Okay, and you know, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but during the past couple weeks, particularly last week when I was going home, uh, when I got home at night, I had difficulty sleeping because of the ongoing psychological warfare against me, and so I've been severely sleep deprived. And so over the weekend, Pam called me to speak to the kids. We chat for like about a few minutes, very few minutes, because, like I said, they've been using her to target me. And every time I got off the phone with her, there was always police sirens going off immediately after. Okay, so I mentioned this to her yesterday that, um, you know, that every time I got off the phone, I think I sent her a text. I said, every time I speak to you on the phone, every time I get off the phone, there's always police sirens. Okay, and there are times when I'm being targeted where they don't want me over here, because what they try to do is build or to create the perception of the TI being a bad person. Okay, so if they go into the community and say this person is a bad person, and the community, people in the community, those in the community listen to these individuals, and these individuals are in law enforcement. They are authoritative figures that people in the community will listen. Okay, not knowing what they have done to that individual, not knowing the psychological conditioning that they've done to that individual, right? So, I mean, we see this all the time. I mean, me as a black person being a TI, and being targeted in this way, I understand how they do it on a broader scale. Okay? I understand the tactics that they use, okay, on a broader scale, particularly against people of color. And the fact that you have people of color participating in this is not surprising from my research. It's not surprising, okay, because they use people religious beliefs as a tool to recruit them and have them engage in these types of behaviors. Okay, and what they have done is created a multicultural cult, okay, on a massive scale. They get the community involved in the surveillance and harassing, psychological harassment and torturing of the targeted individual. They get your employer involved, your coworker involved. Any if you're a TI and you're going to school, the school administrative system are involved, or people within the school administrative system are involved. So they have created a multifaceted, multi-ethnic, multi-dimensional cult. Okay, and again, and they use psychological tactics and deceptions as well as technology like silent sound spread spectrum, you know, microwave frequency that operates that operates on the same frequency as the human brainwave. So that's how they're able to control people's emotions. Okay, if you're the TI, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes you walk outside and people look at you like they're mad with you, like you did something wrong to them, okay, or they're upset with you for whatever reason, and you don't even know these people. And I'm talking about multiple people, okay, not one, not two, you know, and they'll look at you, you like with disgust on their face. And again, it's to kind of shame you, because this is a tactic that they use, right? They use shame and guilt to psychologically manipulate you, harass you, or psychologically harm you, damage you. And so this is what they're doing. So this morning, and you see, I'm doing this video early. Okay, it is about it's 9:26 a.m. in the morning. Okay, I don't think I've ever done a video at 9:26 a.m. in the morning, but I had to do this video because this is a perfect example of what they call the domination game. Okay, as well as the psychological warfare or manipulation in the so-called covert type investigation. All right, so let me read the examples and definitions of what I just spoke about. So the domination game, who dominates? Some people may worry or have stress about who they believe they can dominate, or who they can dominate, and because they have or dominated in there again, and who they may or may not dominate. The word or metaphors, alpha male, as in wolf, a pack of wolf, right, or wolf pack, is also often used to describe a leader or someone in a leadership position. People in the workplace or in a relationship may continuously try to dominate each other, causing conflicts and tension. And that's, let me stop right there, because that's one of the biggest issue between me and Pam, is that the fact that I'm not trying to dominate her, but because I'm in this program, she's constantly trying to dominate me. Okay, and so, and this is outside of the the regular hand signals and psychological harassment that she'll do to me. Okay, so domination can also be used as or in psychological construction, where a lot of importance is placed on who dominates, and this can result in a lot of stress and difficulties for people who think in terms of domination or have the domination thing in their head. To remove this psychological construction or view on reality, you can simply view domination as you do not dominate anyone and no one dominates you. And that's what I feel. I don't dominate anyone and no one is going to dominate me. Okay? In the workplace, positions should be clearly defined as having authority or the leadership role. Employees need to fulfill their obligation as employees, and when people are in relation, the relationship is supposed to be based on teamwork and usually does not involve one partner having authority over the other. Now I'm going to add a part in here that's not there. This is for my own view, okay, my own thoughts on this, is because a large part of my targeting are for members within the NYPD. Those that are the authoritative position will try to dominate on anyone who they view as a threat or a target. And I'm not talking about anyone who is engaged in criminal activity, but the fact that they feel that they are the authority and have authoritative power to basically lock you up, okay, whether it be in the psychological institutions or the penal institution, they will try to dominate you in every single way. Okay, like if you ever engage in a conversation with a police officer who pull you over, it's like they feel that you shouldn't ask them any question. You should just hand over your information and accept what they say and not challenge them. Okay, so that is also a domination game that is played by those within the authoritative position. Okay, psychological warfare or manipulation and covert type investigations. Individual can use words, actions, and sound that will make a target recall memories associated to a specific event. Observers can note different reaction from the target, such as fear, surprise, embarrassment, red face, anger, and different emotions. From these reactions, the observer can obtain clues to the level of involvement or knowledge that the target may have about a certain event. A simple example of this is if the targeted individual was involved in an event that has a specific location, the group can say the name of the location, like a street name. If the target does not associate this to anything or any memories, he will disregard the comments of strangers, and have no reaction. If, however, the target does associate it to something, he may or may not have different reactions. This scenario may be repeated several times with different association pointers to get a better view or result, like taking many measures and obtaining some kind of average, or again, a better view. So this is what they do, right? So basically, if they start blurring out words, street name, places that you've been to, people you know, okay, they will say those people's name and see what kind of reaction they get out of you. Now, let me also say this. When they say certain things or do certain things over and over again, it doesn't matter if you've been to those places, know someone, or what else, or did something, right? But if they do this over and over again, eventually you will start to associate something with those places, events, people, or what have you. Okay, so this is what they do. This is one of the ways that they use to basically, I'm talking about within the law enforcement agencies, it's like torture, right? So if you torture somebody, eventually they're gonna say what you want them to say. Okay, if you torture them over and over, 24/7, on a daily basis, that's what's gonna happen. Okay, just like in any other scenario where somebody is being tortured, whether it be psychologically or physically, eventually that an association will be seeped into the individual subconscious mind, and they will say whatever you want them to say, okay, or admit to whatever you want them to admit. All right, okay. This psychological manipulation scenario can also be used to stress or panic a target, and a possible motive would be to have them use some type of telecommunication device that the target believed to be secure, and they've done this to me at the beginning, and to possibly push the target to communicate to a partner that may also be involved in the event. Yep, happened to me. And to where he would discuss the strange phenomenon that he believes is happening to him, or discuss the events in question. It's a fact that in the US, Canada, and UK, there are secret organizations that listen to all communication in these countries, and that they also share information among themselves. Many people also believe that these organizations share information with other organizations indirectly or through indirect channels. And what this is called is fruit of the poison tree. So let's say, for example, someone is being investigated, right? And a person call that individual who's being investigated, whose phone has been tapped, or he's being surveilled, and that person admits to something that they did that may be against the law. And so what will happen is that whatever agency is listening to this individual conversation, not the one who called to admit to doing something wrong to the person being investigated, what happens is that that organization may pass that information to, let's say, another, authoritative organization or another branch of law enforcement, right? And then from that branch that they pass the information from is now investigating that individual. That is called the fruit of the poison tree, okay? And that's why there were cases in which that has happened, and the police department or the FBI wouldn't reveal where they got the information, and they basically dropped the case against the individual. Okay, so that's what that's called, right? The fruit of the poison tree. Okay, there are many possible psychological manipulation type scenarios that can involve the use of sensitive information or dark secrets. You may have seen a movie where the bad guy says something like, "Get me some dirt on this guy." The information would be used to intimidate the target or induce fear, stress, and paranoia. This type of scenario can easily fall into the classification of blackmail, where the target is in a catch-22. The target would have to reveal the sensitive information or dark secrets to law enforcement in order to obtain some kind of help or assistance. His claim would also simply be dismissed as paranoia or delusions. And even if his claim would happen to be believed, there simply would be no proof or evidence. Psychological warfare or using psychiatry and strong-arm tactics is not a new phenomenon, and it usually involves discrediting the target or having them declare psychologically ill. These tactics and technologies are usually used by powerful organizations. As an example of this can be seen in the movie Blue Sky, set in the 1950s, where the Army uses psychiatry to hospitalize and medicate the target. And the three top priorities or objective in psychological warfare: discredit or destroy the enemy's credibility, conceal psychological warfare knowledge, eliminate the victim means of subsistence or resources. Okay, so this is again these tactics that are being done. Okay, discrediting targets, and in our case as target individuals, particularly in my case, it's to cover up non-consensual human experimentation. Okay, illegal microchipping for the purpose of remote neural monitoring, the conditioning of an individual's mind through technologies like silent sound spectrum, which can be done when you're sleeping. Okay, so they can condition you when you're sleeping in your subconscious mind. And I think I've spoken about this before. I talk about how early on in my targeting, all right, when I would get up on the weekend, this was the weekend that I didn't have at the time. I only had Bryce was my only child, so he was very young. And so the weekends that I didn't have him, I used to get up on a Saturday early, get on the train, and go to Barnes and Nobles on 14th Street. So here in New York City, I'm not sure if the Barnes and Nobles are still there. I haven't been over there in years, in years. So I don't know if it's still there. But every time I would approach the Barnes and Noble, okay, there would be someone standing right outside the Barnes and Nobles, and as I approach, they will give me the thumbs up sign. Okay, and this happened for a couple times before I begin to realize that something is not right. Like, why I keep going to this Barnes and Nobles, and why I keep seeing people in front of the Barnes and Noble when I approach the Barnes and Noble giving me the thumbs up sign and then walking away. Okay? And so I began to realize that I was being conditioned, or I was conditioned. And, you know, it kind of caused me to have a lot of mistrust in my decision making, or, you know what I'm saying? And this is all part of it, right? And so it took me a long time for me to be able to, you know, figure out whether, you know, whether something, and it doesn't happen all the time too, but whether there was an artificial thought placed into my mind telling me to go somewhere, as opposed to my own thought, my own mind, my own decision telling me to go somewhere. Okay, and that's still, you know, that's something that we struggle with every day as a TI. But I think when you get to understand the technology, the tactics, that, you know, if you are able to decide that 80% of your decision making is based on your own decision, not something that's artificial that has been conditioned, that you've been conditioned to, that have been placed into your mind. You know, you're pretty. I don't want to say the word "you're pretty well off" because that's what I was going to say, but that's wrong. But, you know, at least I would say you have, you know, a certain level of confidence in terms of your thoughts and trying to find the right word, but I can't. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to get to the video, okay? Because this is the part that I really want you guys to see, okay? As with all my videos, but this one in particular. So let me do this. Okay, I'm going to move this over here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just turn it off. Okay. All right. So, what you see here, okay, is the beginning of the video. So, on my way to take the kids to school this morning, you know, I spent the night over by Pam because she was tired, and, you know, we had a discussion last night about some of the things that, you know, I keep talking to her about, and yet she continued to engage in. Okay, and I told her, I said, you know, you're dismissing me, okay, and you don't listen to me, and then you turn around and say to me, I don't listen to you. I said to her, listen, I have been honest and open to you about everything, including my targeting when we first met. I didn't hide anything from you, okay? I let you know what was going on with me, what was being done, but, you know, did you listen to me? Okay? And I said, and even everything that we've been through in the past with the kids and everything, you saw how I reacted when you do certain things, and I tell you not to do it, you still continue to do it. Okay? Did you listen to me? Okay? So I said to her, you know, you saying I don't listen to you because, you know, I may talk over you sometimes in a conversation, particularly when I feel that I'm being targeted by you, is different from you just dismissing what I say, your actions towards me that causes me to leave, and then you go and get upset. And I said, listen, I leave because I need to protect my mental state. That's why I leave. I'm not leaving because I didn't want to be here, or I don't want to help you with the kids. I leave because, again, you're doing things that's harmful to my mental state. That's why I leave. And if you're not willing to listen to me, and not do those things, then I don't want to hear you talk about, I'm not listening to you, because I will not listen to you until you start listening to me. Because I can't be the only one listening to you and you're just ignoring me. Okay? So that was it, right? So I ended up spending the night, and they probably didn't like that because, like I said, they've been threatening me whenever I speak to her on the phone. Immediately after I get off the phone, there's like police sirens going off in the background. So I spend the night, and I'm walking the kids to school, and you have the civilian perps looking at me like they're upset, like they're mad, So I dropped off Ethan to school, and then this perp was taking his kid to school, and as I'm walking by him, he says to me, not to me, I'm sorry, but they like to do these indirect conversation thing, right? So he goes, we'll talk about this later. Now, he wasn't talking to his kid because I was walking towards them, but immediately as I got into right next to him, as I'm passing him, he says, we'll talk about this later. All right. So anyway, so I'm walking up, and I get to the intersection on Church Avenue and Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn. And, I saw the police vehicles, right, turning. They came down from Pam's block. They made the right, coming towards me. They had the sirens flashing. Now, these two cars, see these two white cars? There's one here. And then if you look behind the one in front, there's another one back. Now, these two cars, they ran the red light. And I thought that this was because they ran the red light, right? But again, this is what they do. This is street theater that's being played. And it's a good thing I took up my phone when I saw them turn from Pam's block, and I started recording. Okay? So they run the red light. This van comes on this microphone saying, stop, 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 stop. Okay? And so I'm going to play the video from this point. Here. All right.
There you go.
Yeah, like stop please.
Look at the action going on here. The
So
street
I
theater.
took my phone out,
Okay, all of that.
right? And now,
Look at all of that.
okay. So they see me recording now, okay? And now you'll see them. So they let the two cars go that run the red light, and they goes to this lady here who's walking her kid. Remember, this is all street theater. This is all street theater. Everything is orchestrated and planned out. Okay, so I talk to you guys about this all the time. That all the stuff happens around me all the time. Okay, and it's not coincidence. It is not coincidence. Okay, this is all planned and orchestrated. Okay, this is what is called intimidation, and they play in the domination game. This is a psychological program, okay? And they will create scenarios with for me involving the police, and they will try to play it off, okay? So they're talking to this woman and her, I don't know if it's her daughter or not. Now check this out. You see how soon they leave? Right, the one in the van. Okay, and he's pointing at me, but again he's having a conversation, but he's pointing at me. Okay, this is again, Like I said, it's just orchestrated. It's just planned out. All right. So now she goes back, turns it around, and now you would think that they would be gone, right? So now here comes another police car now. Now, think about this. You see how many police cars and how they behave just to talk to this woman with this little child. Okay? Immediately as I got to the intersection, okay, again, it's a synchronization. Synchronization is involved here. All right? And I'm going to prove to you, no matter what they say, that this is orchestrated. All right? This is a planned, scripted event. Okay? So here comes another police car. Okay, so now look at them all there. Look, now they're sending me a threat, a psychological threat. What he has here is a piece of pipe, okay, but he's holding it like a gun, okay? So I talk about in my show and my videos earlier in my targeting that, you know, a police officer will be walking towards me and he will place his hand on his weapon as he walked towards me, you know. And so this is happening all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, you have no, after this happens, you know, 5 and 6 times, you're going to interpret it as a threat on your life by these police officers, right? And so, again, that's what happened, right? And so I went down to the police precinct, my police precinct, which is the 71st precinct in Brooklyn, and, you know, and I'm explaining to them what happened, and they told me that I need to go get professional help. I need to go see a shrink, right? So again, this is what they do. Law enforcement, those people who are in law enforcement who are part of this cult, okay, that's why as TIs, when we go to the police station to ask for help, they always reference us to go seek some type of psychological help, right? That's why I tell TI all the times, you know, unless you're physically hurt by someone, you can go to the police precinct and file a report. They'll take your report. But because what they engage in is psychological warfare, psychological torture, they're not going to take your report. Also, why would they take the report when they're the ones that are involved in engaging in this type of behavior? They're the ones that are controlling these peer groups in your community and outside your community wherever you go. Right? They're the ones that's doing it. Okay, so they're not going to offer you or assist you in filing any kind of complaint in which they themselves might be investigated. It's not going to happen. Okay? And I hate it when TIs talk about, I wish the police would do something about these gang stalking criminals. The police are in control of these people. The police is the one of the level up in terms of spreading propaganda against you and slandering your name. You know, going to your psychiatrist if you've seen, or your therapist if you've seen a therapist, and getting them involved in, you know, psychologically manipulation and torturing of you, the TI. So they're a big part of it. So anyway, so they all gather around. Okay, let me go back a little bit. I hate this gig. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, so they stopped this lady, and again because they have to adjust their targeting because I'm recording, right? So they are prepared for every scenario. Okay, every scenario they have already been prepared for it. Okay, so they did all of this to stop this lady, and even more police cars coming, right? So let's say, because again, I'm videotaping it and I zoomed in, but had I not done that, I can see it as clear as day, right? Again, this is a psychological threat towards me, right? A threat of being killed, right? So, or shot. So, let's play the video. All right, so there you go. So they all gather around here, like they're looking on the ground or what have you. Or he's looking. Look, this is not a gun. Okay, this is not a gun. This is a piece of pipe that they have in their hand. Okay, but they're going to stand around and do these, they hold it like a gun, making this type of gesture towards me. And what happened to the woman that they stopped with the kid? They just all of a sudden forgot about her, right? Let's see if you can see right. It's not a gun. It's a piece of pipe. Now look at all of them. Look at all of them. Now look at this guy who have the see how this guy is looking at him? He's looking at me, right? He's looking at me. His eyes is fixated on me. Okay, I'm talking. You see the guy, the tall guy behind him, not the police officer, but the one that's right here. Try to describe his location. But all right, you see the guy? You see the police officer in front of the one in the middle, the one that's holding the pipe? Okay, the one that's behind him. Look at him. He is staring at me. He is looking at me. Okay. And again, they think they're slick. So you see, as I move, the police officer in front, he moves too, because he don't want me to get footage of what it is that they really have in their hand. So he's going to move into position where I'm not able to record that. Okay? So as I turn to record, now he moves again, right? Oh, no, yeah, no. So that was the other guy. So the other guy, he moves, right? Okay. So now they have this woman, and she's looking at me. They're not done, and that's why I didn't stop the video, because I knew that they're not finished. Okay, when they do stuff like this, there's always a follow through from the civilian perps, right? So as I approach, walking, see this woman here, she's going to take off her glove. Okay? She's not fixing her jacket, as you'll see. She's not fixing her jacket. Okay? She's not fixing her jacket at all. What she's doing is using hand signals. Okay? Now I'm recording. Remember, this is, see, once they plan this thing and it goes into action, right? See, the cops adjust. Now, the civilian perpetrators, okay, they don't adjust because they've been told to follow the script, right? They've been told to follow the script. And that is some of the best time in which you can get the civilian, you can videotape or capture footage of the civilian perpetrators, okay, with the psychological tactics that they do, whether it be hand signals. So there you go again. So you see be quiet, you know, this, right? So I show this all the time. Whenever they see me, you know, they'll have that perp. Sometimes it's more than one, but you know, you'll see they'll follow through on that. Okay? All these people. Yep. You too. Take a good look at his face, ladies and gentlemen. Oops. Went back too far. Okay, I thought too far again. Okay, let's see here. Let's go back a little. Okay, and there you go. Another police vehicle. Again, now you'll see as soon as she sees me. I guess I didn't get the footage, but when she saw me, she started pulling on her clothes. All right, she started pulling on her clothes. Okay. All right, so I think at that point is when I turned off the camera, right? Again, okay? You guys can watch this video over and over again. It is clear, right, of what they are engaging in against me. Okay? It is clear the psychological threat that they just made to me. Okay? And people are gonna watch this video and be like, oh, you know, you just interpreted that wrong. Or, you know, it's just your interpretation. Well, I told you the story of what used to happen to me. You know, if somebody walks up to you, make their finger like a gun, stretch out their arm, and do the motion of shooting you, okay, and you tell somebody that this person just spent your life, you explain to them what happened, and that person tells you, oh, your interpretation was wrong, or you interpreted it wrong. Okay? So I guess if somebody made their hand like a gun, fingers like a gun, point towards you, and act like they're going to shoot you, it means that they want to give you a hug, right? Since when do we start changing the definitions of, you know, psychological threats, right? Because basically that's what people are going to say when they see this video. Some people, I think those who have a sense of decency and logic and critical thinking, you know, will interpret it the same way that I'm interpreting this. I've been through this too many times, okay? I've seen this too many times. All right? Well, that's it for the video. I will see you guys, speak to you guys on the next video. And hopefully, you know, they will do something similar to this. Not really similar, but we'll do something like this in which I'll be able to, again, videotape it and show you guys exactly what it is that they're doing. And, you know, I think this is part of the retaliation for doing my last video, because every time I do a video, you know, sometimes they'll cease the psychological operation for a day or two, and then they'll reset and come back and start. All right, but I guess this time they again want to engage in the domination game. And like I said, when they do these things, I'm going to expose everything that you perps do, every single thing. Okay? I'll see you guys in the next video.